The day is finally here. After months of speculation, Pump.Fun have not only announced that they will be launching a new coin, but there is an airdrop coming. I thought we'd never see the day. As much as I hoped, it felt so delusional, but there is an airdrop we're all gonna eat. And the question is now, what is that token going to do after launch? In today's video, we will be going over all of the details, reacting to the announcement, and making sure you guys have the clearest possible picture going into what could be one of the biggest token launches in the history of crypto. So this has been rumored to be launching for quite some time now, and the speculation only built up when Gate.io announced a plan for the token to launch this weekend on Saturday, July the 12th. The page was actually deleted and then kind of restored, and it was assumed that maybe there won't be an airdrop. There was nothing about it on the Gate.io website. But then, just to quell all doubts, and the moment they needed it most, and we'll get to that later, PUMPFUN finally announced it. So this is the tweet. It's basically a 1-minute video with the team saying that this is the moment you've been waiting for. It's launching through an initial coin offering on Saturday, July the 12th. The airdrop is coming soon, which to me feels like Christmas. I don't know about anyone else or anyone that's lost a ton of money in the trenches, but knowing you're going to get some of it back is just the nicest feeling. Like, they didn't have to do an airdrop at the end of the day. They had no reason to reward investors, and people do forget that. As good as it would be for PUMPFUN to go out and just splash millions after extracting 700 of it, they didn't have to. Like, the platform's there, people gamble at the casino and they win or lose money. They don't have to then facilitate an airdrop just to make things whole again. No one was making you sign up to PUMPFUN or trade coins on those platforms, but it is good that for a team that has extracted so much money from Solana to actually give back to the community. Like, Photon still haven't, Bullex certainly haven't. It's nice to see someone in the position of PUMPFUN actually use this opportunity to not only raise more money, but to actually give back. They went on to say on the tweet that since launching in January of 2024, that it sought to become a household name and quickly became the fastest growing company in history, which is kind of mad when you think about it. Like, if you go through the biggest names in tech or the random pump and dumps you see, to actually supersede all of that and reach a $500 million revenue mark quicker than any of them, might have to be fact-checked, but still pretty crazy when you think about it. They then went on to say that they're building PUMPFUN to replace existing social platforms with one that gives instead of takes. They have made 700 million, and look, the airdrop's cool. I'm sure they're not going to be giving back a huge amount of that. But we don't know what this new coin's going to be. If there's going to be incentives, if you get a kickback in the same way that AXIOM allows you to receive one when trading these meme coins, maybe this is going to become a little bit more sustainable. But to me, parlaying that we're replacing social platforms and then we're giving back more than we take, both of them seem a little bit disingenuous. I can't imagine them replacing Instagram or TikTok or Twitch. I know they've put a lot of emphasis on streamers. With streams like Chillhouse, I can see the way they're going with it. They have just said whether you're a trader, creator, startup founder, or anyone else, PUMPFUN will allow you to tap into a global network of instant money and attention. And to be fair, there is no better way for an aspiring streamer to reach more people because people want something to invest in. On Twitch, it's so incredibly oversaturated. On PUMPFUN, you just do have a direct connection to people that want to invest in your token. But there comes the difficulty, right? Is that if the token dies, then you're kind of held responsible. But that's a whole other conversation for another day. The main thing is they've made a claim that they're raising this money to replace social platforms and to give back more than they take. We'll see how both of those go, but hopefully this becomes the biggest crypto airdrop in history. Maybe even succeeding Hyperliquid. I know that one certainly revived a lot of the faith in crypto projects, but maybe this one will even do a little bit better. And if it doesn't, after making that comment, I'm personally a little bit annoyed. So they next actually tweet the tokenomics, which is something I know a lot of people have been intrigued about taking a look at because we don't really know much about this coin, and we haven't ever since those rumors first came out. So they have announced that 33% will be sold in the initial coin offering, which will take place on Saturday, July 12th. Now, quick heads up, no one in the US or the UK can actually buy it. 24% reserved for community and ecosystem initiatives. Now, as of right now, PUMPFUN doesn't really have any ecosystem initiatives outside of the fact that devs now get a kickback and get creator rewards very much taking on what Bonk and what Boop were able to do with their platforms. There's nothing for traders. Like, there is no incentive for a trader to hold a coin to graduation and to really benefit from that. So maybe that's something that they'll look into. But I'm assuming most of this 24% is going to be for the airdrop. So back in June, The Block and a few other outlets noted that PUMPFUN were planning to launch a coin at a $4 billion valuation, raising some money through an ICO and a private sale. Now, part of that article suggested that there might well be an airdrop, and it was kind of assumed it would be in that 10% mark. So unless they go 14% for ecosystem initiatives, which, look, if they've already introduced creator fees, I don't think they're about to raise any money to insert that into the ecosystem. So I don't know what they've got up their sleeve or what they've got planned. It could be a 10% airdrop. It could be a 14%. If it was a 20% airdrop and you have 4% left for the community and the ecosystem, I would be more than happy. But I would assume that that 24% there accounts for the airdrop and any extra initiatives on top of it. So to me, that's bigger than what I was expecting. If it was a $4 billion valuation, we were expecting a $400 million airdrop. 20% to the team, because, well, you know, why wouldn't it go to the team? And then 2% to the ecosystem fund. I don't know how that differs from ecosystem initiatives or why there's a separate fund. Same with live streaming, like that's 3%. I think realistically that could probably go into ecosystem initiatives, because that is an initiative to stream on PUMPFUN. If you're giving people money, if you're paying them, or affiliate fees or whatever it is, that's all the same fund to me. So it's interesting that that has been split that way. And to me, maybe just opens up the idea that this airdrop is bigger than that 10%. Because if you've got the ecosystem fund, you've got 3% for live streaming and 2% to the ecosystem fund. That's 5, which is $200 million roughly for ecosystem rewards and incentives. That's not accounting this 24%, which is for ecosystem initiatives. So to me, that 24%, a lot of that has to be the airdrop. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw upwards of 15-16%. Maybe it is even the 24%. Who's to say? But I think the fact that they've established it's for community and ecosystem, yeah, I can see a lot of that 24% going to the airdrop. And interestingly, that is more than the team gets. So maybe that's what they mean when they say they give more than they take. So there are then some details about the public offering that's coming. Each token will be sold at a floor price of 0.004. Obviously equaling that $4 billion valuation, and the tokens will be fully unlocked on day one. So that's interesting. The private sales are already been allocated. We don't know how much of that is going to be vesting limited. Got to have unlocks scattered throughout the next 2-3 years, or is it going to be an absolute free-for-all on the opening day? We don't know that yet, so I would say that if you do claim the airdrop, certainly be wary that your token values could just go up or down 90% within any 2-minute period, going off of any history of PUMPFUN coins. So certainly take that into account when you do claim it. And of course, the other advice I would give is don't forget that in terms of tax, you get taxed when you claim the airdrop, not when you sell it. So if you claim, for instance, $10,000 and it drops 80% and you have $2,000 left, you're still going to get taxed on the $10,000 amount. So be wary of that. Make sure you cover taxes, and whatever you do with that money afterwards, obviously, is fair game. If you want to participate in the public sale, they do have KYC verification platforms such as Mexi, KuCoin, Kraken, and Bybit. If you want any of those links, they are on the official PUMPFUN page. Do not click links anywhere that isn't that if you're unfamiliar with the exchanges. Just go with the ones that you know, like Gate.com, KuCoin, Mexi, and all of those. Again, links will be on the PUMPFUN Twitter, and you can tell it's that because of a golden tick. It sounds silly, but I've seen so many scams in recent years that let's just make sure we get the airdrop and get over the line. There's some more information then about the actual coin, but essentially shortly after the public sale ends, the token sale participants will receive their coins. Tokens will initially be non-transferable, and then between 2 and 3 days after the completion of the offering, they will be, and I assume that's when we're going to get more information about this airdrop. Screenshot of the deleted Gate.io PUMPFUN page that showed the upcoming ICO said that the sale ends on the 15th, and there'll be an official announcement of token distribution following that. So if that's legit, then I assume we'll get more information about the airdrop and how to claim it a little bit later down the line, presumably after the sale ends on the 15th. But if you do want to get a rough idea of how much you'll get, you can go to the June analytics page. I will link that down in the description, where someone has built an airdrop wallet tracker where you can paste your wallet in. There's no, hidden keys or anything like that. You paste your wallet into a tally and it will show you your rank amongst any wallet that is interacted with the PumpFun platform. So are you top 1%, top 5%, top 10%, so on and so forth. And you can use that to roughly gauge how much you'll get, okay? So obviously the bottom tier might not be too substantial. The top tier is going to be absolutely brilliant. We don't know yet, though, how much of that airdrop is being removed for MEV bots, for volume bots, and things like that, because a lot of the PumpFun top traders are not human. They are just volume and MEV bots. So I'm assuming they're being taken out unless PumpFun have been a little bit silly. But given the way this has been laid out, I just don't see that to be the case. But in summary, I think this comes at a great time for PumpFun, because in case you haven't been in the trenches as of late, Bonk has taken a lot of mindshare, okay? Bonk went from like 20% to about 80% mindshare in the space of a few days. PumpFun revenues were dropping, and this had to have been a long time coming. They would have seen this a mile away, that someone like Bonk would come up, would sustain and begin taking volume away from PumpFun, and the way to swing them all back over is to just feed the trenches with a gargantuan airdrop. They know a lot of it is going straight back in. They know people are going to gamble loosely with a lot of that money that they've just had for free. So they had to do this. They had to show that they're a platform that do reward their user base, because Bonk has, and it has done for a while, and it's prioritized the right things. And until maybe Bonk came around, PumpFun hadn't. Felt like it was very much just extract as much money as possible, and even if it wasn't, they were just making a ton of fees and had no need to really innovate. Then came the live streaming saga, and that felt like the first real dropping a toe in the water to see what would work and what wouldn't. And now you're seeing things like they're really incentivizing live streaming, they're giving out creator rewards, and they're starting to build a more complete platform, partly because of the pressure that Bonk have put on. So it's going to be intriguing to see how Bonk and Boop and these other areas react to the PumpFun airdrop. But to me, just the fact we're getting an airdrop is the best news ever. And I'm so happy for all of you guys, if you've lost money in the trenches, if you've made money in the trenches, that you now get a juicy reward after a long and arduous year. So we'll see what happens, but it's come at a great time for PumpFun to bring back that mindshare, to bring all those users back in and really commit. And I think that's the big word. How successful PumpFun is from beyond this point comes down to how well Elon and the rest of the developers can actually execute and continue to innovate their platform to make it the unchallenged home of meme coin trading, which it was for a while, and now that's not so certain. So if they do the big airdrop to bring people back in, the next challenge is keeping them. And of course, we'll be documenting all of the new features and updates and highs and lows on this channel. So if you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like, and let me know your thoughts on the ICO and the airdrop down in the comments. And a massive thank you again to everyone for subscribing recently. We're over 5,000 now, and halfway to paying my channel Dex banner paying my channel Dex banner at 10k. So from myself in the trenches, I'll see you soon.